There is something strange about the moment between the old and the new. On the outside, everything looks like a celebration. Fireworks, greetings, familiar words about fresh starts. But beneath that noise, there is a truth most people avoid. A new year is not only a beginning, it is also an ending. An ending of versions of you that will never return. Ways of thinking that once controlled you. Beliefs that once made you feel safe. And if you listen carefully, you may realize something. What we fear is not the future. What we fear is letting the past die. Most people enter a new year carrying the same person with them. They change calendars, goals, and promises, but they do not change who they are. Then they wonder why everything repeats, why motivation fades, why they end up in the same place again. This video is not for people who only want to be a little better. It is for those who feel it is time to change at the root, not by adding more, but by letting go. Not through motivation, but through truth. If you stay until the end, you may no longer see yourself the same way. Real change always begins with something hard to accept. That the person you are now is part of the problem. Not because you are bad, but because this version has finished its role. Most people try to fix their lives without touching their identity. They change habits, environments, and goals. But inside, the decision maker is still the same person. With the same fears, the same avoidance, the same need for comfort. You cannot build a new house on a cracked foundation. Ancient philosophy understood this long ago. To create something new, the old must die. Not a physical death, but the death of illusions. The illusion that you cannot change. The illusion that your past defines you. The illusion that you are your fears. The old ego always whispers. It says, you do not need to change that much, just adjust a little. That is how it survives. Because if you face the truth fully, if you really see who you are, the old version cannot remain. That is why most people avoid honesty. We say we want change, but deep inside, we only want a different feeling. We want change without loss. But no rebirth is free. There is a part of you you do not like to see, a part you hide, even from yourself. It holds thoughts you feel ashamed of, desires you deny, emotions you refuse to admit. Carl Jung called this the shadow. The danger is not having a shadow. The danger is pretending it does not exist. What you are not aware of controls you unconsciously. Anger you do not understand explodes without control. Jealousy you deny poisons your relationships. Fear you never name decides your choices. We call it personality. We call it fate. But it is the shadow driving your life. You cannot build a new identity on denial. Light does not erase darkness. Awareness does. Facing the shadow is not self-hatred. It is freedom from being controlled. When you say, this is also part of me, its power weakens. Rebirth does not come from determination. It comes from painful honesty. When the old begins to fall apart, clarity does not appear. Emptiness does. And this is where most people panic. We live in a world that hates silence. Every gap must be filled. Every moment needs noise. But emptiness is not failure. It is a natural result of truth. When illusions fall, when masks are removed, what remains is nothing. And that space is where rebirth begins. If you rush to fill it with new distractions, new relationships, new goals, you only repaint the old self. Emptiness asks you to stay, not escape, not act, just observe. At first, it feels uncomfortable. The mind demands stimulation, but if you do not run, stillness settles. And for the first time, you see yourself clearly. Emptiness is not a place to stay forever. It is a place to choose. After everything is stripped away, a question appears. Not what do I want, but what makes this suffering worth it? Viktor Frankl understood this deeply. Humans can endure almost anything if they have a reason. Meaning does not remove pain. It gives pain direction. A life without meaning can be comfortable, but it feels empty. A meaningful life can be heavy, but it has depth. Meaning is not found. It is chosen. When you say, I will live for this, your life gains structure. It stops being reaction. It becomes direction. Meaning without discipline is only an idea. The Stoics understood this. Freedom does not come from controlling the world. It comes from controlling your response. You cannot control events, but you can control how you respond. Discipline is not punishment. It is self-respect in silence, doing the right thing without witnesses, keeping promises without rewards. Each disciplined choice builds a new person, quietly, without drama, but solid. No one is reborn overnight. Real change is slow. That is why it lasts. 1% each day, small actions repeated quietly. No applause, no recognition, but identity is formed there. Every action is a vote for the person you are becoming. There is no final version, only becoming. You are not fixed. You are a process, and that process continues as long as you live. Rebirth is not a destination. It is a rhythm. Destruction, emptiness, meaning, discipline, growth. Then again, if you feel lost, maybe you are not going the wrong way. Maybe an old part of you needs to end. And if today you are brave enough to stay with the truth, to not escape, this may be the first day of someone new, not better, but more real.